So, I have in mind 3 more mods for the 2024 Tacoma. 3 things that I'm looking to do, but I want an opinion from you guys on them because I'm not quite sure, really. The first one, if we look at the back of the truck, I mean, the truck looks awesome, the rear end, right? It all looks great, nice and symmetrical. Everything looks the way it should, except for that. This big honking exhaust pipe sticking out of here. Now, it would be better, I suppose, if there was another one over here. And wouldn't it be cool if we had dual exhaust? Wouldn't it be even better if it shot right out of the back of the truck? That would be the ultimate for me, but we don't. Instead, we've got this big honking exhaust pipe sticking out of here that, in my opinion, really kind of takes away from the look of the truck, right? And then beyond that, let's see if we can kind of scooch under here a little bit. We also have this. What is this? Is this a muffler? I thought that's what that was up there. This must be some kind of a resonator or something. I'm not exactly sure what this is. If you know what this is, I plead ignorance. Let me know. I'd be curious to know if this is necessary. Do you have to have this part, this piece? It must be something. But what I was thinking of doing was coming under here, right about in this area, right up there, and cutting it. Or maybe cutting it here. I guess if I was to cut it, I probably would cut it right about here. And then have the exhaust just flow backwards from there. Is that a big deal? I don't know. Am I going to get exhaust fumes in the truck? I don't think so. You know, I've done that before. Actually, in the 2023 I had, and I cut it right up there. Well, actually, I think it was more probably in this area here. Of course, they have a heat shield there, so here I guess I'd have to cut it here beyond the heat shield. Actually, there's one here too. Man, this thing is loaded with heat shields, so it would have to be cut here, I think, if I cut it at all. But again, the big question is, do I need this piece? Does it matter? Because if I did that, there's a couple of things. One, I could fit a bigger tire under here if for some reason I wanted to replace this junky cheapo spare with a real tire. And secondly, I would get rid of this ugly looking exhaust pipe tip. Even with the aftermarket, well, I guess it's Toyota's, black tip on here, it's still ugly under here. I don't know. Maybe a petty thing, I'm not sure. But what do you guys think of that idea? Now, let's flip the truck around. I got a couple of things to talk about on the front end. Okay, let's talk about the front of the truck. And you may be wondering, why didn't I just walk outside to talk about the front of the truck? Because it's hotter than hell outside. It's 91 or 2 degrees just here in my garage. Standing out there in the sun? No, thank you. So, there are actually 3 more things that I'm looking to do, maybe with the front of the truck. First of all, is to get rid of these and put some kind of a recovery hook on there. I think I have seen something out there that might be just a bolt-on application. There is another bolt-on application, but unfortunately, and this one would come off as well, right there. But unfortunately for the other one I have seen, you have to pull the whole front end of the truck off. I'm not doing that. If I do that, we're going to be looking to do something with the grill while I'm at it, I suppose. Next up, or secondly, I guess, are lights. I want some lights somewhere on the front of the truck. I'm a big fan of that. I've had them on every other truck I've had. So why not have some lights on here? Now, the problem is, the aftermarket so far has not caught up. There is no light that I'm aware of that you can put inside the gaps here. And maybe, since we do have a louver application behind there that opens and closes, putting something in front of there, that may not be the best idea, I suppose. You could put some down here, I guess, maybe fashion some kind of a bracket, put, I don't know, maybe a couple up here, maybe a couple more over here, something like that. And I could do that. I could use some sort of an aluminum bar, I suppose, drill a hole through it, paint it black, and then mount some lighting in there. But I'd be concerned about the wiring with the louvers in here. You can see if you look real close, there are louvers right here, and these things move. Shutters, I guess they're called. So that's not really an option either. Something I have been thinking recently, and I think I saw this on the web somewhere, I'm not quite sure, is to put maybe some little dinky lights right inside this area here. Maybe, I don't know, one here, and then the same on the other side. One there and one there. I think that might look pretty good, I think. I could even put them here, maybe 2 on each side, I suppose, as to putting them in this little slot. Then they could be actually a little bit bigger. And now that I'm talking about this out loud, that might actually be the way to go. However, let's lift the hood. Is there any access behind that area? Up here on the top, right behind here, there is. So I could drill a hole through each one. Have to make sure, of course, that I mark that right, because that's a one-shot deal. And then put those little round lights, you know, they're about yay big, that kind of screw through, and then I could wire them right over to my switch there. That wouldn't be that big of a deal, I don't think. And again, yeah, I can get behind there. And a matter of fact, I can even get behind right here for that slimmer center area. We do have this bracket here though, so I suppose I would have to spread them about like this. And I think then I still would have room. Yeah, I would. And then I could just run the wiring right down the inside, right around to here, and then plug them into my aux beam switch. I think that would work pretty darn well, actually. And those little lights that you get, the little round ones that I'm talking about, are pretty darn cheap. Now, there's 2 sides to that. One, they're so cheap that you can replace them frequently, I guess, if you need to. And secondly, they're cheap, so it'd be a pretty cheap mod. My only hesitation in doing this, to be honest, is that I actually would have to drill holes in the grill. And I better darn well make sure that I have them spaced properly when I do it, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. I'd probably just make like a cardboard pattern or something that I could just sit in the slot, mark them with a pen of some sort. And this side might be a little bit more difficult, actually. I think, yeah, you can still get in right down below here. So I think, yeah, I can. I think I'd still be okay in doing that. Anyway, those are the 3 mods, I guess. The hooks, the exhaust pipe, and the lights in the front that I'm thinking about right now. The more I think about it, I think doing the lights in the front is probably is going to happen. Another thing I just noticed, I could actually put a light here, and a light here, and then I would have the 3 lights. The only thing is they'd be below the emblem, which traditionally, I think, when most people do this, they put the lights up above. Let me know, which way do you think would be better? Just to go ahead and put them in these places, 3 lights, or put maybe 4 up above, 2 over here or 2 over there. I'd be curious to know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.